Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Please hit the subscribe button and give this episode a thumbs up. Nick and Olandria, before they met, were eating pretty different lives. Nick, a driven and charismatic individual, was focused on his career and person growth. Olandria, full of creativity and heart, was exploring her passions and building a life that reflected her values. They first crossed paths at specific eventication, say a mutual friend's party, a community event, or online. It wasn't over at first sight for either of them. But there was definitely a spark, something magnetic. The kind of connection you can't always explain but instantly feel. Nick remembers being drawn to Olandria's infectious laugh and her genuine warmth. Olandria, on the other hand, admired Nick's confidence and how he listened with intent, a rare quality. Their first conversation lasted hours about dreams, favorite music, and that little vulnerability we don't often share with new people. And that's when things started to shift. Early on, there were nerves, funny misunderstandings, and the kind of awkward moments that make for great stories later on. But those moments were building blocks, making their foundation stronger. The weeks turned into months. Nick and Alandria grew closer. Their dates were a mix of adventurous outings and quiet nights, where they could really get to know one another without distractions. And of the defining moments in this chapter was when Nick introduced Olandria to his closest friends and family, a sign of how serious he was becoming. Olandria's vulnerability and authenticity shone in these moments, showing Nick the depth of her character. Trust became their currency. They learned to communicate openly. What stood out was how they handled these moments. Rather than drifting apart, they leaned in. They communicated more, sought to understand instead of blame, and leaned on their support systems. Point one particularly difficult time was when describe a challenge, a career change, family issues, or health concerns tested their resilience, but ultimately showed them how much they meant to each other. Love stories are everywhere. But once in a while, a love story comes along that makes people pause, smile, and believe in destiny again. Nick and Alandria's story isn't just about romance, it's about growth, timing, second chances, and something deeper that ties two people together, even through the storms. In a world where relationships are often filtered and fleeting, their journey stands out as raw, real, and in many ways revolutionary. So today we're unpacking everything. From their first meeting to the defining moments that nearly tore them apart, from otter-filled dates to tear-filled conversations in the dark. We're bringing you fans have followed their journey for years, some even from the very beginning. Whether you discovered them through YouTube, Instagram, their joint podcast, or those now viral video diaries, one thing is clear. Their connection resonates. But behind the curated feeds and perfect couple photos is a layered, emotional, and incredibly human story that he had a vision board in his new apartment taped to the wall with pictures of film sets, camera lenses, and quotes about purpose. Relationships? Not part of the plan. He'd just come out of a difficult breakup and swore off anything serious. Meanwhile, Olandria had been in for about 2 years, quietly building a career in event design. She was known among her friends for her creativity, humor, and infectious energy. But behind her curated aesthetic and warm smile, there was a kind of guardedness, the result of past hurt she rarely spoke about publicly. Nick had come reluctantly, dragged along by a friend who swore he needed to get out more. Andrea was there supporting a friend performing spoken word. They were seated only 3 chairs apart, but it wasn't until intermission that they made eye contact. Nick was grabbing a drink when he accidentally bumped into her, gently spilling a bit of her sparkling water. The next few days were filled with texts, not just casual WYD messages, but full-blown conversations about music, purpose, and favorite breakfast cereals. For the record, Nick is a Frosted Flakes loyalist. Olandria prefers granola with strawberries. Their first real date was a week later at a pop-up art gallery downtown. Nick remembered how Olandria stopped at one painting and just stood there in silence for almost a full minute. They made Sunday their day. No matter how busy the week was, Sundays were for pancakes, long walks, and movie marathons. It became their sacred tradition. They took their first weekend trip together to Ojai, a small town 2 hours away. It rained almost the whole time, and their cabin's heater barely worked. But instead of frustration, they spent hours wrapped in blankets, reading poetry aloud, and dancing in the kitchen with mismatched socks. In a city known for fast flings and social media highlight reels, Nick and Olandria were a slow burn. They didn't post each other right away. They didn't rush into anything. Fans who eventually discovered their content were drawn in by how real it felt, not curated or forced, but rooted in friendship, vulnerability, and intention. There was one moment where Nick reached over and tucked a strand of hair behind Olandria's ear mid-sentence. She didn't flinch or perform. She just smiled. Every love story has a starting point, a moment where two paths cross and set the stage for what's to come. For Nick and Olandria, that moment happened in a way that felt almost serendipitous. Given that love films 2 to 3 days before episodes air, it's likely that Nick and Olandria are still together. They have the support of Nick's family, who have named Landria as their pick for him from the start of season. Felt a spark with him and Olandria initially. Felt like they had this passionate thing between them. And Ike her because she's got a good head on her shoulders and she's very authentic. Solid. And D, she's beautiful. Just am so jealous of her body. Nixon said in a TikTok, as his sister Ella added. We Harris mom continued, don't really feel like they're making the connection every episode, but would love to see. Nick's sister also shared a video on social media of Nick's mom and dad cheering after he coupled up with Olandria for the second time. Nick and Olandria do have the issue of distance. However, Nick is from Jacksonville, Florida, while Olandria lives in Houston, Texas. Sierra also supported Nick and Olandria after she liked an Instagram post shared by Nick's family of the couple with the caption, and so it was written in the stars. Amaya Espinal, a bombshell who joined on day, and Brian Arenales, a Casa Amor boy who entered on day, coupled up for the first time on day, and stayed together until the end of Love Island Season 7. Right before the reunion aired on August 25th, the two had unfollowed each other on Instagram. Some TikTokers had alleged that Brian cheated on Amaya again when a video of him talking to another woman at a restaurant surfaced. In the reunion trailer, host Andy Cohen had asked where Brian was on the night when the cheating allegedly happened. How the couple live in different cities. Amaya is from New York City, New York, while Brian lives in Boston, Massachusetts. They did live closer than other Love Island USA Season 7 couples, so it was more possible for them to stay together after aveing the villa. Obviously, live in Boston and you live in New York. When it gets to that point, lot easier of a transition, Brian told Amaya in an episode before the finale. You see yourself coming TW York? Amaya asked Brian, who responded, was in New York the weekend before I'm here. Maya added, well, our first date has to be in the city. Really excited for us. Feel like we have something great growing. Amaya announced in an Instagram story on Augusto days after the Love Island Eason reunion aired that she and Brian had broken up. Brian and are no longer together. After aveing the villa, it became very clear that we were on two different journeys. Our visions didn't align, and relationships are supposed to be a team sport. You don't have to drink the whole COT, no, it's salty, she wrote to VE here, and I truly wish him the best. Huda Mustafa, an original Islander, and Chris Seeley, who joined as a Casa Amor boy on why coupled up for the first time on He Stayed Together until the end of Love Island Season 7 finale, when they broke up during their date after a fight over Chris not wanting to cuddle Huda the night before. Huda broke up with Chris because she believed they didn't have enough of a strong foundation to attempt a long-distance relationship. They started to show cracks in their relationship before the fight when they got into a fight over Huda not kissing Chris in public in front of the other Islanders, but having sex in the same room as them. Huda lives in Raleigh, North Carolina, while Chris is from Fresno, California, but plays for a professional basketball team in Indonesia. Huda also has a daughter, GH, with her ex-boyfriend, Shelley. While Chris told Huda that he has no issues with her being a mother, fans were skeptical of how their relationship could work if Chris lives in Indonesia. Huda, however, supported her decision to go on Love's Land. To the end of the day, hope everyone remembers we're human, he wrote in an Instagram story in June 2025 in response to the hate Huda was receiving. Her going on that show to find love, or whatever you think was she's doing, remember she's still human, she has a daughter and a life. He continued, she's maybe not doing a great job at don't watch the show, but don't like that I'm seeing so much negative shit on my page, or even clips of it about her, he added, calling the hate unhealthy. He also expressed his concern for her mental health. It's not my job to police her or the people in my comments, But Em will say what you guys do will affect her mental health and my daughter's maybe in the future. So I'm looking out for her in that aspect. Out of respect for our daughter, he wrote. Iris Kenda and Pepe Garcia. Two bombshells who joined on day 9, coupled up for the first time on day 26 after Iris' former partner, Palma, was dumped from E Island as a result of a vote from Lyrica on day Pepe. For HS part, had his strongest connection, Hannah Fields, dumped from the island on day. Iris' best friend, Lissa Olina, also hinted at the invisible string theory between them in TikTok comment, in which she revealed their mutual connection. On the other hand, Ape is one of my other bridesmaids' good friends, so I'm a little biased towards him working out BC. It feels like fate to me. Like the red string theory. But I'm a hopeless romantic, Melissa wrote. Right before the reunion, fans noted that Iris and Pepe had unfollowed each other on Instagram. Iris' sister, Ruby Kendall, has also unfollowed Pepe, as well as his ex from Of Island Season 7, Hannah FLDS. Pepe also unfollowed Hannah back. Iris also seemingly addressed cheating rumors with an Instagram story of a sunset set to Fleetwood Mac's breakup song. Silver Springs, did me cast a spell in you. But you won't forget me, no, could have loved you. But you would not let me LL follow you down till the sound of my voice will haunt you. You never get away from the sound of the woman that oves you, the lyrics read. Ace Green and Shelley Besant, two original Islanders, coupled up on day and stayed together, except for a short break in their relationship during Casa Amor, until their elimination in 5th place in the episode before the Love Island seasonale. Ace and Shelley confirmed they were still together in an interview with Variety after their elimination, in which AE revealed Shelley's plans to move Tangels, California, to be closer to him. Shelley currently lives in New York City. New York, we are going to take our time day by day. We are still getting to know each other outside of villa life. Life is complete different from what America gets to see. I'm excited to grow our relationship and improve our communication, especially since she's in Florida. I'm in, but she's looking to move too. We'll go from there, Ace said. Ace also confirmed that he and Shelley plan to stay exclusive outside of the villa. Hated the term closed off. They get closed off in the villa, go outside, and now they're free to roam. I'm very intentional. Exclusive means exclusive to only each other. That's not just in the villa. That's in the outside world too. Indeed, I'm excited to translate that over, he said. Ace and Shelley were also the only couple on Love Island Season 7 to have met before filming started. In the premiere, Shelley revealed that she and Ace met at a nightclub in New Year months before filming and stayed connected on social media, which led the other Islanders to compare them to the invisible string theory. The reveal of video office resurfaced of him seemingly wishing Shelley a happy Valentine's Day. Hitch led to rumors that he and Shelley were secretly in a relationship before Of Island Season start filming. Shelley's friends, however, denied the rumor in an Instagram story in June 2025, claiming that the two had once in New York City. We want to be transparent and clear the air, as some of the rumors say have gotten far from the truth, Shelley's friends wrote. Shelley and C briefly crossed paths in New York and later connected on social media. The post continued, they were never in a relationship, never lived together, and there are no children or hidden pa. What's unfolding now is real, unscripted, and could change at any moment. We're fully supporting Shelley, wherever her heart leads, and with whomever she chooses to couple with. Ace and Shelley also have the issue of distance in their relationship. Ace also rested to accusations he was strategic in the villa in an interview with Variety. Was not being strategic, he said that T was bae with every conversation, that V already had a following coming into this and didn't want to come in with that entertainer mindset of doing whatever to get attention. It wasn't that. It was me being open and communicating to the fellas. We have to communicate more if you want to talk to a person. ET them know if you're not interested. So there's no miscommunication. People think you're or that you are not here for the right reasons. Never was strategic. Stated how felt every time. It was never a matter of Ace being messy. If you feel away, come talk to me about it, or I'll pull you aside to clear the air. It's URS in a day. You guys get shown for 1 hour. But I was never trying to be strategic or messy. Messiness is when you don't want people to know how you're feeling, that I'm gonna stay how feel every single time. Taylor Williams, an original Islander, and Clark Caraway, Casa girl who joined on day, coupled up for the first time on day 18. They stayed together until they were dumped from the island in 6th place on day 28. Taylor and Clark confirmed they were still together in an interview with E! News on July, which they opened up about their plans to make their relationship work despite living in different states. Taylor is from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, while Clark is from Arlott, North Carolina. We talked about making it work, Taylor said. We already had communications about me going down to Charlotte and her coming to Oklahoma, so we're definitely going to make it work. Clark, for her part, confessed that she's known to overpack at all times, but she's ready to keep her suitcase light when she visits Taylor's farm. Just need my cowgirl things ready, she said. Probe won't even wear half the stuff that's in my closet. Taylor and Clark also confirmed their plans to see each other, the real world, in an interview with Us Weekly. Her turned into a little cowduran, see how well she does, Bana Cowgirlo said. Something that we're going to keep going. Clark, told Them Magazine that she's for sure down to be Taylor's cowgirl. Clake also reacted to Taylor claiming Clark could be the one before their elimination on Loveland. And hear that, she said. That's my first time hearing that. Interesting. When did you say that? She continued to hear that. Men have felt love that we're on the same page. Jaden, Austin Shepard, an original Islander, and Jaden Duggar, a Casa Amor girl who joined on day, coupled up for the first time on day 1. Stayed together until they dumped from the island on day 24. Jaden revealed in an interview with the Vile podcast on July 9th, 2025, that, while she and Austin were still talking, they weren't exclusive because they live in opposite coasts. Austin is from Lauderdale, Florida, while Jay dives in San California. It's still a thing. We're still talking. We had such a good time in the villa. Think we wanted to stop now, but we do live on opposite ends of the country. We couldn't be further apart, time will tell, Jaden said. Tay announced their split in the Love and Unayon after Jaden said she was blindsided by his actions that did send you a mess you were planning on dating or hooking up with other people. If you just let me know, she said, adding that she didn't care what he did. Just give me the respect of letting me know. And then you didn't. Want to first start by addressing not just anyone that I have hurt or deeply offended, but most importantly, the entire Asian community, Ortega said. Am deeply, truly, honestly. So sorry, had no idea that the word held as much pain as much harm, and came with the history that it did, or ever would have used it that I do no ill intention when was using it. But that's absolutely no excuse, because intent doesn't excuse ignorance. Additionally, viewers likely won't see Yulisa Escobar, another Islander who was kicked off the show for using racist slurs on podcasts before the show. Ecobar also issued an apology after her short time on the reality dating SH. Peacock released the official trailer for the Ove Island USA season special, which dropped on YouTube on August 22nd. In the clip, eliminated Islander Charlie quips that he's looking forward to seeing all the people that voted me out. OT of people have added Hannah, who was also eliminated from her fellow Mostlanders despite having a strong connection with Pepe. Huda, who received backlash for her treatment of Jeremiah before experiencing a redemption errata in the season, wants to see all the footage. And do you want those tapes to be played back, she says. She and Chris ended their relationship in the finale, but they're hardly not on good terms now. During the reunion, he addressed the comments that she made in the press against him, which Chris said he didn't respect. During the Speciana questions Belle and Jeremiah about a potential connection between them, something they never had the chance to explore while in Fiji. Jeremiah appeared in the hot seat after allegations that he was the mastermind behind Jeremiah's elimination, with Taylor and Nick allegedly following his lead, which spawned many memes on social media. UST agree with whatever Ace says, Nick Joke Native says. Me, MAS. The reunion also addresses rumors about Brian cheating on Amaya. In clip, Cohen reveals that Chris was with Brian on the night of the alleged infidelity. I had a lapse in judgment, Brian admits. Oh, and during the special, Peacock is airing the unseen, extended version of the controversial heart rate challenge. Fans will finally see the moment when Shelley and others Landers said Huda went too far with. Hink thin good spirits, Maddox said in an interview with Today. There were a lot of things that think a lot of them wanted to be able to express to each other, Whether that was something that worked toward a resolution either way. Whether, like, we'll be friends now, or oh, maybe it's better off as not. I think that was important for them to be able to sit there, have that conversation, and be able to move forward from there. And they all seem in great spirits. Madix praised the cast for their ability to dive into their feelings that, hey, all good at expressing how they feel about difficult topics, she said. And that is something that I admire about them so much, because when was that age, don't think I had that. Even still struggle to have that ability. On Love Island Season 7, Olandria Carthan was one half of the audience's favorite love story. She just didn't know it. While viewers instantly picked up on her romantic chemistry with Nick Van Steenberga, she swore to see the vision in real Tim now that VE seen the clips. Get it, she says. You can just see him yearning from afar. You know,